All right, welcome back. So today we're going to be looking at Metasploit and Meterpreter. We do look at this throughout Active Directory. This video was actually made after Active Directory was created, um, even though it doesn't seem that way within the how it's the lessons there. But I figured we should put Windows probably before Active Directory, and yeah, this is just one of the things that we've added on throughout time, stuff like that. So this video was actually made afterwards. So if you're watching the Active Directory one when we get a Meterpreter, and I'm like, man, I don't remember some of this stuff. Um, that's because I haven't used it in so long. So I was like, well, I should probably play around with it like a little bit before I get back into it. So we do have Metasploitable 3 up and running like right now. So we have another VM Metasploitable 3 here. Right, I can set a Control Delete at it. Get into Vagrant user. The password is also Vagrant. Right, you could do this, or you can just do like a net discover or something like that. I think within the course I say net discover, right? Or we could just do like an IP config or whatever else, right? So we see this 192.168.0.208 is the IP address. So let's go ahead and I'm going to throw a RustGAD at it. Yeah, we'll do something like that, okay? I'm going to get rid of all this over here. These are different mmap scripts that you can run, or mmap commands that you can run. So if you put a tac in RustGAD, you can actually run different mmap commands. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get rid of all this. We should be saving everything, right? And then there we go. All right, so we see that comes through. We see port 445 is up and running. So let's go ahead and take a look at that like real quick to see if we can do anything with it. We do see that this is a Windows Server 2008. Now that kind of sticks out, right? And Science False SMB version 1 is true, so that's really kind of sticking out, and it is also a 64-bit. So let's run something within Meta. So if we do a locate.nsc, right, we can see all the scripts that mmap has. And we've already talked about this, but let's go ahead and do an SMB vuln script. So we can say mmap tacp 445. And we're just going to say, yep, attack VV, so make it very verbose, right? Do not ping that IP address. And we're just going to say, hey, I want to run this script like right here, SMB vuln star. So I'll run everything that SMB has against it, right? That vuln script, because there's more than one vuln script within there. And we do see that MS17 tag 010 comes back, so eternal blue. So let's go ahead and run this. So we'll do an MSF console. What we can do from here is we're just going to we're going to search for MS17 tag 010. A very famous tac. And we'll see that we can run some different things in here. We're just going to run this one, like this is Windows Server 2008. And we see this exploit SMB MS17. All right, and this is only for 64-bit, so we know that that's going to work for us. So we'll say use 0. We'll do a little show options here. And we already got our L host, that's good. Now we just need to set our R host. So I set our host as 192.168.0.208. And we'll go ahead and we'll just run that. Because we see that it's vulnerable, or that it thinks that is vulnerable at least. It's going to try to run everything. Now with this attack, you can cause a blue screen of death, just so you know. But there we go. Okay, we get our win, and we have a Meterpreter session. If I do a get UID, we can now see that we are NT Authority System. Now Meterpreter has a lot of different things that we can do. Okay, we can run post commands. Okay, so we can run post Windows commands, things like that, right? So we say post Windows. Then we can look at every single possibility with post Windows, right? So we can look at everything. So we could do a capture keylogger if we want to, right? We can try to escalate our privileges. We're already NT system, so it doesn't really matter with that one. We can run Bloodhound, which is talked about within the Active Directory section. We could do just a whole bunch of different things, and I've looked through these before, and just kind of got an idea of what we could do here, different things that we could try, stuff like that. I have actually used these during exams before, so and they do work. These different post scripts here. So that's one thing we can do within Meterpreter. Another thing we can do is if we press question mark here, we see that we have all of our help here, but we can load different modules. So I can say load and I hit tab twice. We see that we can load a bunch of different modules. Two of the modules that people usually load are Kiwi and Incognito. Kiwi's kind of like a Mimikatz kind of thing. Incognito's for tickets. So we can say load Kiwi, press question mark, and as you see, we now have new commands, right? And then we can do a load Incognito. question mark, and we can see that we now have more commands. So we can go ahead and we can start to try to look at different things, right? We can do an LSA dump secrets. And we have the secret dump there. So we actually have a password for a user like right here. We have a clear text password with username SSHD server maybe. We don't quite know if that's correct or not. We also have the default password, root #123. So we could try to maybe run a brute force, a password spray against all these guys, right? Put in those two passwords, run .NetExec, and then just say, continue on success or whatever, so we can get both of them. We can actually see, maybe some different users' passwords. There's other things we can do. We can do a Wi-Fi list, things like that. We could change someone's password. A DC sync. This is a great attack, like right here. Usually you do this with an in packet. DC sync. Oh, that has domain user. Can we do the whole thing? I wonder if we can do DC sync NTLM. Or do we have to actually give it the actual user? We do. Okay. So we can try something like this, like maybe that administrator, maybe. Since we don't actually have a domain there. Okay, so it's just saying that failed to retrieve information for that. Running system function really works. Computer account has replication privileges, or it is a domain controller, so that's obviously not going to work for us like right there. But you learn about that guy right there whenever we go through on the Active Directory portion also. But you see we can do a lot of different things, right? Golden ticket create, which I don't think is really going to matter with this like right here, but we could do different attacks through Meterpreter because it is a C2, so it's a command and control here. So I just want to do a quick class on Meterpreter because we do use it a couple times throughout this. There's all of our different users like right there. We actually see if the SSHD server is in here and SSHD. So we can do that get or LSA dump secrets again, and we can see if maybe that SSHD server, if that is actually his password like right there. So we can come up here and we say NXC. We can try SSH, I guess, 192.168.0.208, right? And we can say SSHD server as the username, right? And then for the password, and you'll learn more about NetExec. You can also watch the video on NetExec that I have. It's not really part of the modules, but I do have a full video within the class about NetExec. It's saying that I actually cannot log in with that, like right there. I wonder if there's like a use local. We say tac help server KDC. So it's saying it can't log in with that, but I wonder if there's like a local authentication for the SSH one, like a tac local auth or something. It's not looking like it, like right there. So it's saying that I can't log in with that password, like right there. I wonder if it's the other SSH, or I wonder if maybe that root one, like right there, right? If that's something. Now, this is not obviously a user like right here, but we could always try that. And from here, we could also try to crack all these hashes in here, right? What if we could just try, nope, this guy doesn't even exist because we got that 31D6C, which means that he's blank like right there. So SSHD server, I just want to make sure I did actually spell right. And yeah, so that guy's password did not exist down there, but we could always try to crack it, or maybe his password is, one number more, or instead of threes, it's actually E's or something like that, because usually people don't completely change their password. But yeah, saying they cannot log in. I wonder if he can log in through SMB for some reason. Maybe you just can't log in through SSH for some reason. You can log in through SMB. Who knows? Status logout type not granted. So he may actually be able to do something like that. He may not be able to log in through SSH for the server, but we may actually be able to log in through something like that. We could try RDP maybe, but it may just be just because of the type of account that this user is. He can't do some of these things right. So nope, it's still saying that is incorrect. But that's okay. So we could try to crack those passwords, whatever else. But that is, was it Metasploit with Meterpreter there, going through some of the things that Meterpreter can do, some of the different post commands, some of that. We do go through Metasploit deeper in the Active Directory section because we do use, proxy chains, so we proxy our traffic through Metasploit and things like that. And yeah, that's going to be about it for this like right here. I hope you guys liked it. It's a quick class, and I'll talk to you all later.